Hey everyone, I'm State Central Committeeman Maurice West, and I'm also State Representative of the 67th District.
And my name is Carter Elliott. I am the organizing director for the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee in Illinois' 17th Congressional District.
And we are really excited to have with us Eric Sorensen, a candidate for Congress for the Illinois 17th Congressional District. This town hall is all about Eric, and so I'm really excited to have him here. Carter, if you're cool with it, put you backstage, bring Eric front stage. All right. Eric, how are you?
I am doing well, Congressman. Thank you for having me and putting this together so that everyone can get to know who will perhaps and hopefully be the next representative for Illinois 17.
Oh, no problem. We're really excited to have you here. So the way it's going to work, like I said, this is your day. This is your town hall. So we're going to have a 10-minute opening statement and then 5 questions for 3 minutes each, and then a 5-minute closing statement. And from there, however, how you answer is all on you. So we
Great.
will start with the opening statement that you have for 10 minutes.
Great. Well, my name is Eric Sorensen, and I've been the meteorologist in this district for 20 years, and I've loved every minute of it. I love the communities that we have here, and I love the people that make up communities, and I love our way of life. I was lucky enough to be welcomed into family rooms in our district for 20 years and be supported in the community, even though my partner's name was Sean. And for that, I'll forever be grateful. But why is the meteorologist even running for Congress? To understand, you have to know a little bit more about me. Being the meteorologist has always been about protecting our communities and keeping people safe. I earn the trust of the people by telling the truth. Some days it was just to grab an umbrella or an extra layer, but other days it was giving that accurate information on dangerous weather so people could be ready for the water to rise or for people to take shelter from the tornado. And through all of it, I felt like I was truly working for the people in my community, not for the station. And that also meant taking the risk of talking about climate change on the air some 15 years ago in Rockford at WREX. No one was doing that on a regular basis, but my job was to connect the people in my community to the science. And our viewership never suffered. It grew. It worked because I used science to give the context to what was changing around us. And I heard back from the progressives and the conservatives who appreciated the information because they could trust me for it. So that's why I'm running. I want to continue being the trusted voice right here in our communities. People should know their member of Congress. It should be someone who's already cared for them. And we need communication between our elected leaders and the people within our communities, even if there's disagreement. I will stand in Congress with that foundation of science and the background of communication. But it's not just about climate. It's about all of the issues that are important to us as Democrats and us as Illinoisans. It's protecting the right to vote. It's protecting the right to an abortion. It's making sure that everyone has good quality health care. And it is doing something about climate change. And the good paying union jobs we need today and our children will need tomorrow. I will be an advocate for everyone.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Eric. So, our first question for you, sir. 3 minutes. What makes you the best candidate to keep this seat blue?
Um, I'm the best candidate to keep this seat blue in this race because for 20 years, I was the trusted source of science and weather information on television. My job was to tell the truth, to keep people ahead of the dangerous weather. And when we're talking about dangerous weather, I mean, we're talking about something that affects everyone on a daily basis. And I was invited into the homes of the people in this district for 20 years. And through it all, I became a dependable part of people's everyday lives. And I'm running for Congress to be the science-guided candidate. Rather than running on any sense of ideology as a member of Congress, I will be guided by the facts and the science to deliver real, meaningful results for all of the people in Illinois 17. In my work as a meteorologist, I was a communicator, and every team needs role players, and I see myself being the communicator and helping to communicate our democratic values, to working to bring those solutions back here at home to our communities, and keeping more hard-earned money in the pockets of our families.
Thank you so much for that answer. Our next question for you. What would your first 100 days in Congress look like?
Well, I believe that the first 100 days has to include two different things. First things first, it's listening. A representative is supposed to represent the people within the district. And I want to listen to the constituents, all of them. And it's not just listening to the Democrats, it's listening to the independents and the Republicans too. I want to be representative for all and being present in our communities, all of our communities. And I want to have a town hall in every one of the counties so that I will be the one that goes to the hometowns of the people within this district to connect with them. And then second of all, I believe it's relationship building. No one person can get anything done in Congress alone. It's about building coalitions. It's about working as a team. It's about building those relationships on both sides of the aisle so that I've got partners that will deliver the results for the people here in Illinois 17.
Thank you for that. Our third question is fairly long, but thankfully it's going to be on your screen. People are concerned about the economy, inflation, gas prices, the possibility of a recession and supply chain issues. Baby formula is a new thing now. What are your main ideas to improve economic health in our district?
I think this is such an important question, and one that I think that we've been talking about incorrectly for a long, long time. This is an issue that impacts people's lives, one that is drastically impacting our hardworking families right here at home. It's about making sure that there are solutions when we have such a problem as baby formula shortage. I've been asking myself, why are there only two factories in our country that are providing this? So when one goes down, we don't have the ability. And we need to make sure that we solve that and make sure that there aren't duopolies and monopolies in our big corporations. I'm tired of seeing this as a political volleyball that just keeps getting lobbed back and forth between Democrats and Republicans. We need to remember that whether you're a Democrat or you're a Republican, you are hurting. It doesn't matter the political party. And we need to make sure that our political parties are working together on this. But to be clear, there is no silver bullet when it comes to rising inflation. It's an incredibly complicated issue. And so I think about what are the logical steps, what are the things that are tangible that we can do together to move forward. I think one of those things is lowering the cost of prescription drugs. I believe that we need to make sure that Medicare can negotiate directly with the pharmaceutical companies to bring down the costs for everyone. Because prescription medication is some of the most inflated costs. I was talking with a voter in Rockford. His name was John, and he came up to me and he asked the question, Eric, what do I do now when I'm now paying more for my prescriptions than I'm paying for my rent? And I didn't have an answer to him. However, I said, if I become your representative, I will find that answer for you, John. And that's so important. And not just that, we need to make sure that we're dealing with gas prices too, as they're climbing up $4.50, now $5 a gallon. We need to take action now because it affects all of our families. And I believe that we need to suspend the gas tax to help families out.
Thank you so much for that. Our next question for you. How would Congresswoman Sherry Bustos' work in office inform your own work and help? How would you continue her legacy?
Congresswoman Bustos exemplified excellent leadership as our member of Congress. Congresswoman Bustos worked across the aisle. She was able to talk with people of all different ideologies. And I want to be the next person to be able to do that, to be able to communicate with people, whether they're on the left, the right, or right down the middle. Congresswoman Bustos, she got things done, and she delivered the results for the communities of Northwestern and Central Illinois. And I will continue the hard work that she has done for the past 5 terms.
Thank you for that. Our last question for you, sir. Name one accomplishment of yours that you're proud of that is currently benefiting our community.
One thing, as the meteorologist, my role wasn't just to put on a 20% chance of rain and walk out the door every day. My job was to make a difference, to have a lasting difference in my community. And while I was in Rockford, I pioneered a program that promoted STEM education. It was called Project Tornado, where my meteorology team in Rockford spoke with 42,000 students about severe weather safety, and we did that in less than 10 years. See, it wasn't about the weatherman going to talk with a classroom of students. It was about bringing together an entire community of a school into an auditorium to be able to give these kids the know-how and how to stay safe with dangerous weather. Because we know that when they learned, when they got that full color book, they took it home and they talked with their parents, their grandparents, their aunts and uncles to say, look what I learned today. And it wasn't just talking with students. We knew that the parents were looking and they were seeing the investment that the meteorologists were making in the next generation of people. And the best thing that I ever heard from all of my years doing Project Tornado in Rockford was when I heard back from some of the parents who told me that their children were so inspired by Project Tornado that they pursued careers in meteorology. It's that science communication that I'm proud of, and it's something that I want to continue in Congress.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Eric. That concludes our questions. So now we're going to give you 5 minutes for your closing statement.
Well, thank you very much, not only for those of you that are watching here right now, but for those that are working to make sure that you're educated about who our next representative will be. This election is so important because there is so much at stake. The time to act on climate is right now. We're so far behind that the only way I believe that we can move forward is to put the climate communicator in Congress today. Someone who has already communicated this science to the people right here in Northern and Western Illinois. But now we need action, and the action must be equitable to all people. And in this election, rights are at stake. The leaked decision from the Supreme Court on Roe shows that we mustn't just elect a supporter who is pro-choice. We must send a message that in Illinois, we are electing our very first LGBTQ member of Congress. On June 28th, this isn't about politics. This is about people. The decision that we make is going to determine the health and the well-being of the people here for a long time. And our next representative should be someone that the voters already know and that the voters already trust. The person who can talk across the partisan divide, and the person who has the best chance to win in November. If Republicans did find a way to flip Congress in November, we must elect the person who has the experience on television to communicate what's most important on Meet the Press. Because in the end, everything is at stake, and we need everyone to make their vote count. To help you make the right decision on June 28th, or if you're voting before, please go to ericforillinois.com. And thank you so much for your time.
Ladies and gentlemen, Eric Sorensen. Sir, thank you so much for being with us, and we hope for the best come June 28th.
Thank you very much, Congressman, for putting this together. I really appreciate your efforts in all this as well.